Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good whatever the hell time it is you happen to be watching this video. Hopefully you do know where you're supposed to be by now, you do know who I am by now, and you are ready to get started on another semester, this one of Recalculus. What we have here is a setup that hopefully you're going to get used to seeing, because this is what we're going to start every week with, which is a quick video where I go through the essentially table of contents for the week's stuff, as well as the main deadlines we are going to have. Where for this week we are starting off at a somewhat odd looking place. We're starting in chapter 8, where I begin here, as a lot of people begin here. In my opinion, it's because it's sort of a set of materials that exist a bit on its own. We're starting here with chapter 8, looking at what's called linear algebra, where 8.1 is going to introduce the idea of what a matrix is, both as it stands on its own and also in terms of representing systems of equations. We're going to look at the two biggest tools we have for this class with regards to matrices, which are the eliminations, Gaussian and Gauss-Jordan eliminations, for being able to put our matrices into nicer forms for the purpose of solving a system. Then in 8.2, we're going to look a little bit more abstractly and talk about ways that these things work in the manner of them not quite fitting a system, in terms of things called inconsistent and dependent systems, as well as some applications for how those can be used as well. Then for this week, we have first our first worksheet of the semester with these problems. Are going to be a little bit more scaffolded, a little bit more detailed. This is what I'm expecting us to spend a lot of time in class working on, where the point here is to get some practice in a low stakes environment, building up an understanding of what you're going to actually be working on in the homework, on the quizzes, and on the exams, where that's due on Friday. Then from there, we have our, sorry, it's tired, it's been a long week here getting set up. Then from there, we also have some deadlines to contend with in my lab for next week. That is, we have our assignment deadlines for the homework in 8.1, 8.2. Like I said, that's the main thing you absolutely must have as far as a textbook goes for this class, to be able to access those assignments in there. Those are going to be due next Wednesday. Then we also have our attendance verification assessments, a really quick quiz in Canvas that's there to make sure that financial aid knows you did at least something for this class. That's due on Sunday night. And then finally, we have our first pre-assessment for week 2, where those are essentially a chance for you guys to let me know how things are going, as well as get a quick preview into the material for the next week. I'd hope that people take the time to look at materials before they get to that, but more realistically, I do want that at the very least to be a chance for you guys to see some of what's going to be coming, at the very least a couple of the main points. Where a nice thing about this semester is that I already built all of the materials I really feel I absolutely need for this class, that you all need for this class. As we're going, I might make some adjustments, I might make some additions, but for the most part, everything we're going to need, I already have prepared. So, you got plenty of chances to be able to go in there and start looking ahead if you need to make sure you're ready for those, you're ready for everything we have in this class. Anyway, what we're going to do now is jump in to chapter 8, where for the most part, we're going to be jumping in on stuff that like I said, made a year ago. It still suffices very well. Might look a little bit different at times because it's been a year since then. And as I feel it's necessary, I may add some extra details as we're going, but for now, let's jump in to the material.